Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the Daily Live. It's John here. And the title we've gone with, John, is Fringe Players' Final Chance to Impress David Moyes. Obviously looking ahead to the final 9 games of the season.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Well, not with those words, but yeah, that's a good way.
So we saw at the weekend, we saw Chimity and Brozier get on the pitch, Irabunum as well. Coming on the pitch and all doing well, I think. When you look at the likes of Lindstrom and Harrison, who are only loans, and you look at, obviously, Nathan Patterson, who's been here for 3 years, and we still don't know whether he's good enough or not. Exactly. There is a lot up for grabs, really, for some of these players.
Yeah.
Isn't it? To go in and use these final 9 games as the opportunity to get into David Moyes' thinking for next season. Because obviously Everton is safe now. There's the opportunity for him to mix it up and have a little look at different things, and I'm sure that's what will be wanting to do, to get a clear decision on what he wants to do with certain players.
Sure, yeah. So who are the Fringe players then?
So, well, obviously Chimity and Brozier, because one's on loan.
Yeah.
The other one made his first appearance of the season at the weekend. Yeah. So he's missed a year of football practically. Okay. Patterson, the decision needs to be made. He's only got 2 years left on his deal, so what do we do? Irabunum, it's in his first sort of season here. Does David Moyes genuinely see him as someone who can break into the team, or is he someone who's a squad player? Does him? And then obviously the likes of, I don't know, Beto. But what's he going to do with him? So I think there's a lot of people who are chewing and throwing with David Moyes. And I think
so you don't mean Fringe players as in they're in and around. You mean Fringe as in whether the manager might
and when are we going to keep them?
Yeah, whether the manager wants them or not.
Well, there's no one else underneath who are coming through who've got a chance. There's nobody. Yeah. So we're talking about those lads. Okay. And then obviously there's people like Dwight McNeil who will come back into the squad in the next couple of weeks, and has got to impress the manager because he's
obviously there's a double tap, because that's the phrase, isn't it, this week, not from last week. One is what you do with players that you just let go. Harrison, say. Yeah. I mean, how many chances is he going to get? You know, is his last port of call, I haven't played in my natural position enough. Therefore, if you... Because Moyes is straight, isn't he? You know, it's like... Remember when we do the BWB stuff, you say you've got to remove all the excuses. Is Jack Harrison's last excuse, I'm not played in my normal, my preferred position. So he needs maybe... Are we at the point where we say, well, okay, mate, you're going to start the next 3 games on the left. If you do it, give me thoughts. If you don't,
off you go, yeah.
Adios, sort of thing. So that's an easy one, isn't it? Because he is in last chance saloon, isn't he? I think if you look at someone who sort of vies for that position on the right with Harrison, because he keeps getting played on the wrong side, sort of thing, is Lindstrom. I think that's a bit more difficult, isn't it? Because clearly
he's out of position.
Yeah, but it's a bit more difficult because I think he's made a better fist of playing out of position than Jack has. Yeah, he's technically good. I think he can go past players, and that good technique holds him in good stead. And I think I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, didn't we? If you got the money right, you'd be comfortable with him, wouldn't you? As a squad type player, but then that becomes, what's the real question here? Is it starters, squad, on your bike? Is that the categories? Because very few of those starters you would hope are going to be starters at the start of the season. Well, depending on how the recruitment goes on in the summer, of course. Well,
exactly. Yeah. So you're looking at it and going, okay, well, we have X amount of players here to make decisions on.
Oh, well, there's the obvious ones, the out of contract ones, for sure.
The out of contract, so, looks and sounds like Idrissa Gana Gueye will be staying.
Yes, we did this, yeah.
And he has to stay. The Corey, there's a story the other day, he's leaving, so we'll see what happens there. If he's got other options, then why would he sign for Everton cheaply, other than continuity?
But what would we do? As in, me and you.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. So for those people now, they've got to go out and show. See, I don't think there's any world in which Jack Harrison's here next year.
No, I don't.
I think Leeds would want money for him. He's 29, I think, later this year. I just don't see Everton paying that money for him. And therefore, and he's got interest from MLS and stuff.
So why don't you just go early with a decision? You don't have to inform him, do you? But maybe that decision has been made already.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm quite sure I'm quite sure David Moyes knows, but I'm just saying, from a fan perspective, when you're looking at it and trying to gauge what he'd do, there is players who've got those 9 games, maybe. Chimiti, slightly different. We own him. He's a young player. So that's just a case of what you do with him. Is he become an Everton's number 9 next season? Is he the person who is just sort of like in the squad as a reserve striker for now, and he's going to build up and develop again? But, you know, for Brozier, he's not been available all season, really. You know, handful of games he was injured again. He come back, he looks sharp. Can he stay the next 9 not injured? Can he go and start scoring goals and be a real issue for David Moyes? As in, what do we do with him? Do we try to get him again or whatever?
And that's the point, isn't it? Set Chimiti aside. If he can stay fit, you know,
and it's a massive if.
And turn a cameo into, you know, I don't know, a 30-minute sub appearance into a start into. You're in the team and you stay in it, then that makes the decision much more difficult because you've still got that nag in the back of your head that he's a bit fragile, he's had a really hard time, blah, 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 blah. But that just becomes a negotiating tool. If you want the player as the guy who's just played the last game of the season, then you have to sit down with Chelsea ahead of time, don't you, and say, well, we'd love him to stay, but we can't commit huge sums of money on a guy who could break down on the first half of the first game at the new stadium, and we don't see him till Christmas again, which is fundamentally where they got to. And they unloaded him and said, right, somebody, we'll pay for him to get fit, but you know, we save half his wages this season. So I guess we wouldn't want to pay all his wages next season, would we? Because even if he closes out the season well, it's a risk. But then you would compare him with the recruitment team's offerings as an alternative, wouldn't you? And that's where it gets hard and difficult. But you can't take too many fragile risks, can you? Like that.
No, I think I said the other day, the thing, if it's one loan place, if you think you're only going to use one domestic loan,
and you've got a spare, you mean? Yeah.
He might be worth going, okay, well, we're not going to totally hamper ourselves if we take him again.
Yeah, but I think a bold decision making is do what you just did, or maybe the slightly left field one, which we did touch on briefly the other day, was you just screw Chelsea into the ground on a deal to buy him, and consider it a calculated risk.
I don't know. I mean, David Moyes is more. He'll want more guarantees, I imagine. He'll look and go, I can get similar.
But it's not just his call, though, is it?
For cheaper. Do it.
It won't just be his call.
Whose call will it be?
Whatever this approach they're going to have.
It'll be David Moyes' call, in my opinion, because he'll be the one who's going to use him, isn't he? Don't forget, whoever it is will also be new. If it is someone, if it's, I know, Rob Newman's being mentioned.
No, he's just fitted in his mate.
Apparently, yeah. David Weir's being mentioned. Who knows? Dan Ashworth's being mentioned. Who knows if any of them are even real or anything will come of it. But whoever comes in will be coming in new, won't they?
Of course, yeah.
So then David Moyes saying, we've had Brozier on loan.
Well, that becomes part of the input to the decision.
Wasn't up to it, blah-de-blah.
I'm not convinced.
They're not really going to offer. If Kevin Thelwell, I think, was still here, he liked Brozier.
Yeah.
Tried to get him a few times.
Sure.
He might be more in the camp of, well, let's see if we can get him again. Now, a new one. David Moyes might say, I'd really like him on loan again, but I don't want to buy him because he's not fit and I can't take a chance.
Well, yeah, we don't have to go round.
No, it's just, we'll see.
No. Sorry, we don't have to go around that roundabout again because me and you end up crashing on it, right? So, but who do we think will own the risk? The financial risk I'm talking about now. The playing risk, to a large degree, has to be held by the manager. I think he's crap. Okay, we're not getting him then, no matter how cheap he is, right? Yeah. Or I think he's wonderful. You know, well, we'll push the boat out because you look really, from a sporting perspective. But the business risk, the financial risk, has to be owned by somebody other than the manager.
Well, we don't know, do we? Because we don't know how it's going to work. I wonder if it's the CEO.
I think it probably has to be.
Or is it? You know, because apparently, I've not seen this. I don't know whether anyone else has, but apparently it said Moyes is sitting down with the Friedkins again. Or
I've not seen that.
To have a conversation about the summer and stuff. That was the other day.
Well, in the absence...
And I was looking for...
Yeah, but
meat on the bones of it, but there wasn't any.
Well, there's background, that thing we talk about in BWB around people... I've not seen that, but let's say it's out there somewhere and it's reasonably credible. Then that's what...
It might have been in the Echo.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Thursday or Friday.
Okay, let's call that reasonably credible then, because that's Joe, and he'll have had the little... You know, and David might have done it in the print bit at the last press conference and all that sort of stuff. That starts to give us a little inkling of insight that people give away without realising it. And to me, the insight there is that David clearly is front of house at the moment, because there is no chief exec on the floor. There's no recruitment head, or whatever the role is going to be called, on the floor. Therefore, you could almost say the recruitment team are going to speak with the owners, and the recruitment team right now is the manager, which is interesting, because it then asks you what the current recruitment team doing without a leader, or is Dave the leader? That's the point, right? But financial decisions have to be with the person who ends up being held accountable for the financial performance, right? So if next season, at the end of the season, or the end of the first full financial year at the new stadium, we fail PSR, whose fault is it?
CEO.
It has to be the CEO. Therefore, the CEO has to own the financial risk. And that's going back to what he did with, what's it called, the Square Football, the Leeds podcasty thing. He wants, or seems to enjoy or embrace, that natural conflict. And I actually really like the idea that the manager can just be Mr. Demanding. I want these 3 players. Well, we can afford 2. Yeah, but I want all 3 of them. That's your job to go find a way, right? And that's a good natural tension. So ultimately, as you said, if Kel Thelwell was around, he'd go, I like Brozier, therefore I'm going to buy him. And David goes, I'll play him. He's totally fit. Of course I will. As soon as he's injured, it's not David's fault, is it?
Yeah.
You know, so it's enjoyable to have that natural tension, which we've talked about for a good few years now when we've done the BWB thing. So it'll be interesting, but you could get so far down the track that the natural tension between the head of recruitment and the manager never actually transpires this time, because this guy turns up when so many things are already in play. That could be what happens.
Well, we'll see.
And finance people can tell you how much budget you think you have. And I don't know where David is on financial acumen and stuff like that. We know that the previous director of football didn't seem to understand PSR, never mind the manager, right? So all those things have to join up. And as you rightly say, there are decisions to be made. And in the first instance, the first decision is, does the manager want this player or not? And I think you're right. I think, what the heck would Harrison have to do to pull back from this? Hell of a lot. And we've seen there's reason to expect that just slinging him on the other side is going to make that huge, because he has had some time there.
He's better on the left.
Not much.
But he's better on that. He's had a couple. He had assists, and he's played his part in goals. So he's better. And scored a goal from that side.
Shot, isn't it?
He scored a goal from that side as well.
Yeah.
So he is better out there, but it's why when I seen him on the right on Saturday, I sort of knew what was to come.
Well, I was about to say...
He doesn't perform on the right.
Yeah, it's interesting, as you said, I don't know what's to come. I actually fast forward to if the manager keeps picking him and playing him on the right, because he ain't going to be here next season. You know, I've seen enough. In other words, I'm not going to give you that last chance of starting 5 or 6 games on the left.
I think...
Particularly when Dye's close to playing, so...
Well, at the end of the day, Moyes just had to take what he's had to take, hasn't he? Come in and players aren't available, and injuries, right. and it is what it is. So he's Brozier's interesting. I think Harrison will go back. McNeil's an interesting one.
It could end up as a +1, couldn't he?
That's it. I look at it and I go, I'm not convinced he's like David Moyes type player, but up to him, isn't it? he's got to get himself fit to get in the team and see.
How long's he been
sure
in now?
where he
Is it
gets
2
in.
full seasons? We had him, or was it 3?
Yeah, no, 2.
2. Okay.
It's,
Okay, so he's worth more than his book price, isn't he? So if you moved him on, you'd end up with a net gain.
But you do need a squad, and he's useful. He can play off the striker. He's got a good left foot on him, corners and stuff. But he's someone who's got to get on the pitch and then demonstrate to the manager that he's good at what he does, and there's a use for him. Patterson is the biggest one, I guess, because that decision really does have to be made. 2 years left on the deal.
What one would you make?
I'd just play him and just see.
If he's fit, just
I think
keep playing.
Got the attributes. Jake O'Brien's been brilliant. Don't get me wrong. But you're not going to... Me personally, I don't think you learn anything from training every day. But how can you perform in the Premier League? Some players are comfortable in training, not brilliant, and can't do it on the Saturday.
Oh, indeed. Yeah.
Some players aren't great in training, but when match day comes and it's me v you with the crowd...
So isn't that where hard decisions come in then? Because to make an objective decision about Nathan Patterson, who's got all the physical attributes and stuff like that, you have to play him. And if you play him, does that mean you're not playing Jake O'Brien?
Yeah, but you could give him a few games near the end, couldn't you? And just say to Jake, you're my number one. Yeah. So give Jake O'Brien a game.
Because we did discuss
instead of Toffee.
Indeed. But was it in the final word we talked about maybe he is the first choice right back?
That's it. Well, he clearly is, isn't he? And
no, I mean for next season. You know, last season.
So then is Patterson good enough to be your backup then? Well, without having a look at him, we don't know.
Yeah.
We can't have a situation where we go, O'Brien's great. Our number one, brilliant.
But there's no number 2.
And we'll have Patterson at the backup, it's brilliant. And then O'Brien gets injured or suspended and Patterson comes in all over the gaff.
No, I agree.
Oh my God, he's not good.
I agree.
And it's different. So it is one of those.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Charlie Alcaraz.
Same things.
You know, do we sign him?
Yeah.
Looks like he's got some quality. We saw it again as past to Ghana on Saturday. There was other little bits and pieces, but so has he done enough? As David going, well, yeah, 22, really good age, 15 million. It's nothing in nowadays. Get him in. We know he's played in the Premier League with us now. He's played in the Premier League with Southampton. He's played in Serie A with Juventus. He's played in Brazil. He's been at big clubs. Looks like a good player. I can mould him as well. Do we take that chance? Yeah.
I would.
No, I know. Me too. But these are the ones, aren't they? Because the
Patterson one, I might not.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You might go, well, someone offers 6, 7, 8 million for him. Just take it.
Yeah.
Get it and start again.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Be frustrating if he goes on and does well, because I don't feel like we've ever given him.
No, he hasn't had a good
Deitch killed him. Deitch just,
yeah.
It was scandalous.
Playing anyone but him, yeah.
Terrible,
and then when the chance comes, he bloody bugger gets injured.
Well, he put him on a 4-0 down against Chelsea, 5-0 down, and it didn't matter, and he ended up getting injured, but he should have been in anyway. But
no, I agree.
You're damaging players by doing that. We'll see. Thank you to everyone who commented about the quiz. Thank you very much.
You did quite well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you get them all right?
No. Bit more time I would have. Put it this right, I got 66% of the question right. That's
true,
the one I got wrong.
You got 2 out of 3, yeah. For the avoidance of doubt, you got no warning, did you? You just...
No.
They just said, by the way,
you're
here.
You're doing the quiz. But the thing about it is, because it was timed, obviously they've got to be having me, but
yeah.
I was aware of just getting rid of that question, get the next one. But if I would have got it, because it'd come to me, but it's in that moment you go, no, actually, I need more questions, you know. Yeah. I just wanted to get more than 5, which was the bottom. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But
are you top of that now?
By 3.
1?
Yeah.
1?
Were you the last one, were you?
There's no more for this season.
Well done you, mate.
Well, there you go.
Toffee Blue, number 1.
Sophie says Stefan Borsten at it again.
Saw that yesterday.
Have a case.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Other opinions are available.
What do you think?
We don't even know what they're seeking yet, do we, in the sense of having a case. I guess they're hoping to prove that our breach of PSR in the first of 3 years, compromised their ability to stay up. Stefan seems to think it's up to Everton to prove that it didn't. I personally think it's up to Burnley to prove that it did. And I don't know how you prove when you're playing 38 games and you're above the team that you're suing, after a certain number of games, what went wrong other than you lost football matches, But I don't know, it's on a Substack. I don't know if it's a paid Substack, so maybe it's a bit of clickbait. I really don't know. I saw the dialogue going on between him and a few Blues, and he disappeared.
Oh, he does. He always blocks it. He's a fella who should never have been given the airtime he's been given.
It's fascinating to see. He seems to think, I don't know, he was trying to imply if Burnley can prove that their chances were impacted by more than 50%, which is, what does that even mean, right? Then clearly whatever their loss was, then we're going to have to give them 50% of it, What are they going to claim their loss is? 50 million quid? I don't know. Therefore, does he think they're going to get 25 million quid? This is the guy who supports and worked for Man City, right? So, hey-ho.
So we'll be suing City, won't we, for all our losses?
Yeah, who knows, mate. I stand by what I think we chatted about. I don't know whether we record it or not, but that it could melt away if they get promoted. Because clearly one might suspect they may have PSR issues in the Championship if they stay in there for a couple of years on the row. So who knows? Who knows, mate? Let's wait and see. But why? Don't give him the oxygen.
No.
That's the best way.
Just
don't give him the oxygen. Let's just forget about it. Let's pretend it's not there until it gets real,
Yeah. Bob says, with the squad reducing before it increases and money being tight, would you try Dwight McNeil at left wing back? I don't think we're going to play three at the back, Bob, are we? I mean, he could be tried there, but I just don't see Moyes playing three at the back, so I think he's more likely to want another flying left back.
Yeah, quick. I think so, yeah. But if you're doing that, giving Patterson some options, maybe you do keep Jake in the team. Maybe you do go through at the back for those test matches near the end.
Maybe, yeah. Obviously, he's just never really played three at the back, but tried it sparingly, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, but that's not to say he won't.
But there's no sign of Dwight being fit anyway this season.
Well, he has mentioned
has he?
That him, although I've not seen it.
No, that's what I mean,
But he did say last week that after this break, and Jai, McNeil and Dom would be closer to it. So,
well, they'll all be closer. That doesn't really say anything, does it say closer?
I think he was sort of
implying that they'll
be back, basically.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's a way for him to shoehorn both of them in, Patterson and Dwight, just to see what they're like. But again, it would be options for him, wouldn't it? Because some flexibility around how you choose to play as well.
Yeah. Steve P says, I feel like if we don't take the option on Alcaraz, another Premier League team will definitely sign him and we'll end up regretting it. You can clearly see he's well worth it at 15 million quid and it's only going to get better.
If we let him go and another club gets it, it's because the other club agrees with that chap and Everton don't.
No, but he is. Steve is right. We've signed way worse than Carlos Alcaraz.
Totally, yeah.
He looks like he's got something. He does.
He does.
Can check a pass.
Like I say, I'd have him. Yeah. And if the number is 15, that's really low in this market, isn't it?
Kev Maloney says, if Branthwaite went to Madrid, would a reduced wages Keane be an okay third choice?
No.
Would you go for someone like Moyes, Bombito? We've been linked with Carter Vickers, haven't we, from Celtic again? No, Michael Keane would be let go.
Well, we think Keane is
for him, he needs to go. He's 32. He needs to go and play some games for his career.
But we think Keane's on 80, don't we? So you'd have to say that question really needs reduce down to 20. It's a bit like Decore, isn't it? You get to a line where we want it to go below the line, and the player and his agent, no way on this planet am I going below the line because I can go somewhere else.
Well, that's it.
Because I'm free. Options, There's no transfer fees. I mean, Michael Keane to some clubs is going to be an absolute bargain.
Really good signing for some
great
clubs,
signing. Someone who's just come up or someone who aspires to come up.
Everyone just
needs transfer fee, blah blah blah.
Everyone just needs a refresh, don't they?
Yeah.
Really, him and us.
Yeah.
Brian Farrell says, saw you upstairs in St Luke's on Saturday, John. Was gonna say hi, but you were in negotiations with your missus.
Was I?
So what were you negotiating, John?
Nothing, probably. Are we
Toffee?
going to match?
See,
no,
going
are
in
we going
now?
to match or what?
Are we buying something?
I just wanted to see me
the
banner thing was up.
Yeah.
And it was.
And was it?
Yeah. And because it was nothing in front of it and it was a distance away, actually, you don't see the pixelation as bad. So it was all right. Yeah.
Fair play.
Can't even remember when I bought it. It's ages ago now.
Years, you said, yeah.
Yeah.
Bainey says, big risk in Brozier. I like the lad and he's been extremely unlucky, but we can't go back into making transfer mistakes, even if we're better off financially. Loan is a risk, but it's also a try before you buy, considering how this season has been for the lad. Yeah, I'd go and probably get him on loan again at Chelsea to do it, simply because it is difficult to get that kind of profile of a forward, and he is. I like him, but the risk is he's not fit, is he? He's got to get through these 9 games, play minutes, and then you'd have to have the conversation. I wouldn't be buying him. He's not done anything to warrant buying him at the moment.
So how much is a loan fee?
All varies, doesn't it? I've no idea what they're willing to do.
So if I make it up and say a loan fee would, whichever way it's constructed, with a fee or weight, all that sort of stuff, turns out to be 5 million for the season. And you had the choice of loaning him for 5 million or buying him for 15. Which one would you take?
Yeah, but I just don't think they'd let him go for 15.
I'm just asking that. Yeah. You start off.
You'd buy him then, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd buy him and go, we'll give you 5 million a season for almost 3 million
or whatever.
over 5 years, whatever.
The point I'm making is the manager or the recruitment team together make a decision on it as a player. So the manager can always say, if he's fit, damn right, I'll have him. Yeah. And then you task somebody else with minimising the risk through how we pay for him. I mean, a loan with an obligation to buy is obviously an easy one, based on some criteria. Right? And that can work for both clubs. One assumes Chelsea don't want him back. No. And we have a better view than anyone of where he's at physically. So I guess the question is, where would he pop up if we said, no, thanks, the risk is too big for us? Presumably in a place where they're going to use him predominantly off the bench, right? And therefore less stress and all that sort of stuff. But surely he wants more than that. Yeah. And he is still young, isn't he?
Well, yeah.
Pre-prime, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, hard one. So let's hope he has 8-9 games, whatever it is, and then has a really good pre-season. And we've done some biz with Chelsea that allows him to stick around, prove it, and we suddenly, this time next year, say, what an absolute genius of a decision that was, David. Yeah.
David Moyes might be like, he's gone back.
Yeah, well, he might.
No
well, because the bit we're missing is who are the alternatives.
Yeah, of course. Cheers, Brian. He also says he thinks that the decision has already been made that Dom will be leaving, but do either of you think it's worth trying to renegotiate the contract with Dom?
No.
Given the qualities he has?
No.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's without using the soundbite I'm about to use, that the amount of money you'd have to get him down to justify that, he shouldn't touch with a barge pole. He's got to know his own value, hasn't he?
I think the problem is, he's 28 now. If he really wanted to stay, he'd have signed by now. But
of course he would.
And he hasn't. And he probably needs the break as well.
He does.
He needs a refresh.
Fresh start, yeah.
We do. We need to move away from Dominic Calvert-Lewin's our striker.
Totally agree.
We have to have a choice of 3 that can rotate and move around.
Totally agree.
Rather than going, he's our forward, and that's all we do.
Yeah.
So, Kev Maloney says the team also has to get younger. Our team looks old when they tire after 70 minutes.
Yeah, the last couple of years, the average age has gone up significantly, so it needs to come back down again, doesn't it? And your Alcarazes and others will help with that. Yeah.
Rich Parry says, lads, I was going to call and speak on this tomorrow. But have you heard that the contracts have changed hands for the premium seats at the new ground?
What does he mean?
I don't even know what that means.
Changed hands?
What does it mean?
We've got premium seats, and we did
to,
the buying a long time ago, didn't we?
You need to let you know what you mean, Rich, because
yeah.
I don't understand that one. Steve P says, Baz, have you seen Rocco Vata from Watford? Seen him when he was at Celtic. I've not really took much notice of him this season, to be honest. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, mate. Tom Dobbo says, Keane is a solid defender, especially if a lower league side gets him. He'd be incredible in the Championship. He would be good in the Championship.
He would.
Yeah.
Score goals there as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Derek says, aye, lads, most of the Fringe players need to go. Harrison and Lindstrom, not enough impact in the final third. I think it's time for Coleman, Young, Decore and Keane to move on. They're all on the decline. Brozier has too many injuries. I'd like to see Patterson given a chance to make a decision. I'd be happy to keep Virginia. I'd like us to sign Begovic. I'd like us to sign Alcaraz. McNeil, I'd be happy to sell. I'd like us to bring players in like Walker Peters, Kirk, both free and cheap. Another centre back, another centre midfield player, 3 wingers, 2 right and 1 left, a striker.
Doesn't want much then.
I know that. Yeah, but Everton are going to need.
But that's a really good summary, isn't it?
I know that's 7 or 8 players, which I don't like. So many at once. But needs must, and 4 of them can be loans.
It's a really good summary.
You can have loads of loans, Derek. Just only 2 domestic.
Yeah.
6 international. Chris Davies says, afternoon, lads. Speaking of the average age of the squad, the 86-7 league winning squad was 25.5 years old.
Oh, no, it was very young.
Great times.
Mm-hmm.
Great times. Danny Church, a YouTube member, says Chimiti definitely needs a year on loan. Look at Harrison Armstrong doing well at Derby. Josh says 100% agree with Chimiti on loan.
Yeah. I don't. I think Ped doesn't either.
No,
listen to him over in the background.
Alex says would like to see Chimiti start the last few games to see what he's about. Dom is going, Beto's an all-rounder, and Broch is too injury prone. Bob says, great job in the overlap, Baz. Nice to see Everton top of the table. Yeah.
Good work.
John Russell says, wouldn't be signing Broch. You're going off his injury record or goal scoring record. Money better spent elsewhere. Yeah.
Depends what the money is.
MB says, Chimiti is the future, more experience, match fitness. He looks so strong and confident in his ability.
Filled out a bit as well, hasn't he? That's where Ped's coming from, I think.
Danny, yeah, I like Karam Konati, but he's done his knee in, hasn't he? So you'd have to wait and see how he comes back. Paul Slater says, anyone got their e-tickets for Sunday yet?
No.
John Russell says, need to be realistic about Chimiti. He's become a very good player in people's heads by doing nothing. He's hardly got any minutes and no goals. He needs a loan. Okay. Alex says, hope Pato stays and starts playing some games. That's key. He's got to play, hasn't he? Got to play.
On loan, sorry, can I just say this?
Go on.
If he goes on loan, right?
Yeah.
Then we have to buy another centre forward.
Yeah.
And that centre forward blocks his path.
Okay. Ped says, if he goes on loan, we have to buy another striker, and that striker will block his path. There you go. But I think we have to buy another striker anyway. We need 3 at least. Daniel O'Connor says, who's a YouTube member, Ait Nouri would be my choice for left back, assuming they don't demand a stupid price. Yeah, he's a very, very good player. Think he's good as well. Leif Davis at Ipswich, but I don't know whether he's the level we need. Probably better than that, but he's done really well as well. A lot of people ripping Burnley.
Why's that?
Yeah. I wonder. Brozier isn't worth another loan, says Daniel. You're playing for an injury statistic. Angela, YouTube member, says, would like Moyes to give Harrison Armstrong a chance next season. He's doing well, isn't he, at Derby? They obviously want more. They want him again, don't they, apparently?
The fans love him after 3 games? So,
well, 3 starts.
3 starts, yeah. They love him to death, yeah.
Yeah.
He's shown a fair amount of quality, hasn't he, in those games? So.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit mad of Lee, Mark, asking, should Newcastle build a statue of Eddie Howe? But suppose he's delivered the first silverware in 70 years, hasn't he? 70 odd years from. He's done something Bobby Robson couldn't do, hasn't he? Kevin Keegan, who they loved. So it's not for me to make a judgment on what Newcastle should do. If their fans demand a statue, then fair play.
Yeah, they can always take it down when they sack him.
Might not sack him, though. He's broken that drought, hasn't he?
It's generally when, not if, Premier League managers get sacked, isn't it?
No, I know what I'm saying. He's broken the drought, so he wouldn't need to take it down, would he?
Yeah.
He's the man who's brought it back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. John Russell, YouTube member, says, here's a mad thought. Bring in Moyes Keane and send Beto the other way. Don't think Moyes Keane will come back to Everton. He's got 15 in 26.
Maturing, isn't he?
Guys, looks good. He looks good. Chimiti needs to stay and play, says SR. Few people mentioning Liam Delap. Alex says, I think we need wingers more than we need a forward. We have 2, that'll definitely be here next season. Would love to get Ryan Christie for around 12 million. Philip says Harrison Armstrong's likely to be 3rd choice in his position if he stays with us. What do you think?
Who did the other 2?
Who are the other 2? Trisha.
Yeah.
James Garner. Tim Irabunum.
That's 4 then.
I never said there. Someone else said that. I'm just saying they're the midfield players who are there.
But some of those may end up having decisions made on them as well, mightn't they?
Well, I think the manager wants a midfield player as well.
Yeah.
Mark Mack says, when did you last fall in love with a Lone Star?
Me?
Has there been any
Lukaku.
Lone Stars? Lukaku, yeah. It's a good shout. Have we had any since?
No.
Had any low?
Come on, guys. I didn't fall in love with him.
No, I didn't, but I know a lot.
I know that's a bit catty, but
a lot of people
I didn't.
No, I didn't. He was only good for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people did. Yeah, we haven't had like Lukaku levels of Landon Donovan. I wanted to stay twice. Thought he did really well twice. Rom, obviously, he wanted to stay and he did. Going through them, we haven't.
Really,
no, there hasn't been like ones where.
When we done the lone 11, there was not very many recent ones.
You said Donny van der Beek was the best midfielder you've ever seen.
I can't remember that.
Did I?
I remember that.
Clip it.
Most of them that do well, we end up signing in the end, don't we?
Then you realise, yeah.
Like Andre Gomez, I liked him when he was on loan. Delafeu.
Jerry.
But we end up signing them, don't we? So it doesn't count.
Andre Gomez, a lot of people lost the thing over when West Ham looked like they wanted them. Didn't he? A lot of people are flapping over Gomez. But there's not been any really, has there, lately?
You love Sidibe, don't you?
Sidibe. Sidibe. He was all right. He was all right. I like Cody. I thought Connor Cody did there. I didn't fall in love with him, but I thought he did really well. But there's been none of like Lukaku's level. Gomez was very good in that loan, to be fair. Yeah. He complemented our midfield really well. But yeah, probably wrong. You're right. It's the last one where you were like, we have to sign him. Like sleepless nights over whether he'd stay kind of one.
And then you don't believe it when they actually pull off that magic trick and get him.
He got it. Remember his little thing, time for a new chapter. He was on the plane and all that.
Yeah.
And he was coming here. Yeah. Been a long time. Been a long time. Tom Mack says, hi lads, good afternoon. I wouldn't be keeping Harrison. We can definitely get a better replacement. I think McNeil has a lot of work to do. I don't think he's up to Moyes' standards. He has to offer so much more than just being a dead ball merchant. Maybe he can adapt and up his game, but I'm not sure. It's up to him. Yeah. Rich Parry says the contract was originally with Stadco and has now been assigned to Everton Stadium Development Holding Company Limited.
Yeah, it's just a techie
what does
thing.
It mean?
It's just a techie thing where the money's going to land. And it's going into the business, I think, which is being used as collateral for some of that refinancing. So the stadium is moving from being one we're building to one that's live. It doesn't change anything for any of us, really.
Oh, okay.
It just means our money doesn't go to there, it goes to there.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Different bank account type stuff. But it's,
Terry...
again, sign of progress, sorry.
Yeah.
Getting ready for a live stadium in August. Yeah.
Okay. Terry McKenna says Brozier, if he manages minutes, would be less of a risk.
Of course. I mean, if he is available totally for the manager for the remaining games of this season, then that starts to tip you over, don't it? But the trick is to try and get the finances negotiated when it's perceived that he is fragile, not when he's just proven he isn't. Yeah. Albeit only to be 10 games, whatever it would turn out to be in total. What was the first game he was available? How many would it have been that he would claim to be available?
When was he first available?
Yeah.
It was Wolves, wasn't it? In December.
So is that 2 games ago?
December
December?
4th. Brozier be talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first time he was available for Everton this season was December 4th against Wolves when we beat them 4-0.
But then he got injured again.
Then a month later he was injured and then he come back on Saturday.
It's only this Saturday, the first turnout. But he's been on the bench, hasn't he? No?
No, Saturday was the first time he's been on the bench.
Was it? So he wasn't on the bench.
He wasn't on the bench at Wolves. Chimity was, but he wasn't.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay. So, yeah.
Or December 3rd, whatever the Tuesday was when we played Wolves, that was the first time he was available.
So that means 10 games.
Maximum, yeah.
So you argue if you're Chelsea, that's a quarter of a season. He's been fit for a quarter of a season.
And you go, that's a disgrace.
Yeah.
We need him for 3 quarters.
Yeah. So then you push back, don't you, and say, well, okay, let's do something based on your confidence that he's fit.
Yeah.
You know, we'll give you a low down payment, whatever you want to call it, and then we'll pay upside when he plays games.
Yeah.
You know,
a couple of people saying Manny Fernandez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manny,
that's a good one. Good shout.
You were like,
good shout.
Terry Curran. That's Paul.
Going back a bit now.
You are, 1983. Let's all have a whip round. Luton 5-0 at home. He was outstanding, yeah.
Peak.
Yeah, when he come back, he wasn't quite as good. Robert Jones says Landon Donovan for me. A few people wanting Richarlison back. Says unpopular opinion, but Gomez was great until Son wrecked his ankle. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. He was very good till he done his ankle in, wasn't he?
I think it was the drop-off was exaggerated and a lot of it was justified by the foul, basically, by Son. I was less convinced by him than my peers, but we'll never know, will we? Because the B did him.
I just don't think he was ever the same. But I think also a big bit of it was he didn't have a dresser with him who done all the running for him.
Yeah. There's lack of mobility and pace, really.
Oh, yeah. I thought he had loads of ability. It's the only one.
Mobility.
Oh, he said ability.
Oh, more ability than he knew what to do with. Absolutely. Yeah, but, so again, you have to put players around players like that, don't you?
Yeah, well, we did, didn't we?
And with Idrissa, he had that, and they were a good double act.
Kevin Campbell was amazing for 9 games. Lukaku was amazing for the season. Wormy Spoon says, no shouts for Josh King. What's going on?
Vinagre or El Ghazi?
Ruben Vinagre. El Ghazi. Hey, El Ghazi had a great cameo against Leeds. El Ghazi.
Not to see here, move along.
No, what with him? No, right. What I found mad with him was the lad that scored 10 goals in the Premier League the season before for Villa from a wide area. I'm sure a few penalties, but he still scored 10 goals from a wide area. And we weren't exactly tearing it up, were we? No. Lampard didn't give. He must have been really bad in training because Frank put him on against Leeds. but just didn't give him a chance. And then he went to Holland the next season, done really well again until he terminated his contract because obviously he fell out with someone. But
it must have been offended.
You know when
by
you go
being
and just we'll throw you in just to see if you can do anything or give us a spark or anything, and we didn't. It's weird. I found it dead weird. He wasn't even on the bench a lot. Mad.
Very odd one.
Weird. Nicholas Sadler said, I mourn the day El Ghazi left. There's times last season. Season before, I'd have had El Ghazi. I'd have had him in the first part of the season. Get El Ghazi in. Hey, El Ghazi. Alex says we've got that cretin Mopai coming back, or is he out of contract? He's not coming back.
He's out of contract.
His contract's finished and Marseille have to pay us money, the idiots. He's never coming back. He's never darkening our doorstep.
Is he getting a game again now?
Okay.
Or is he still warming the bench?
I don't know.
He's gone quiet on social media, so I assume he's not playing.
I don't even think Marseille know if he's there. It's just like, that little blurt, yeah.
Over the last 3 games, he's made a total of 19 minutes.
So no,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. He'll be playing for a French third division team or something.
He's still a rich man.
Oh, he's done well, yeah.
Yeah.
James English says Lee Wai-Feng. Lee Wai-Feng, what a player.
What's the other fella called?
Lee Tai.
Lee Tai.
Poor Lee.
He was better, wasn't
He was all right, Lee Tai, I mean,
he?
you know. Yeah, let's leave it there for poor Lee.
Well, we fully exploited having 2 Chinese guys in the squad, didn't we, from a commercial perspective, so it was well worth it.
Ravon 91 says Ian Jinan did okay during his loan spell. We were supposed to sign him and Duncan was supposed to go back. Yeah, Duncan Ferguson. Everyone fell in love with Duncan.
True.
When he was on loan. Pat Jennings. Gareth Barry.
Yeah.
What a player. Emergency loan, wasn't he? Or was he just an emergency signing on the bench at Wembley?
Yeah. So there you go. 10 minutes, there's only 1 player, and now we've got loads.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. It's going back, isn't it? I'm talking recent
The
time.
power of groupthink.
No, but we were saying recently, weren't we? It was recently if we fell in love with any.
Yeah.
You know, even going back to Landon was probably a bit too far. But, and Manny Fernandez, 2007.
Yeah.
Quite.
Doesn't
2008.
time fly when you're having fun?
PJ says Maupay must be really depressed checking Everton's results since Moyes arrived.
That's it. He's gone very quiet.
Say, what about this though, right, for just flipping the thinking the other way, just very briefly. Say he just realised what Dyche was. Do you know what I mean? We're all having a go at him. But yeah, he saw Dyche up close and personal and was just like...
But he's had a chance to tell us all that.
No, I know.
Tells us everything else.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, he's you know, he come here and that was his experience at Dyche. Because Danny Drinkwater, that, you know, he's come out and basically had a go at Dyche.
Has he?
He's on Ferdinand's podcast saying, said he said I should never have gone to Burnley. And I did. Because I'd already been with Dyche when I was a young player and he was the Watford manager.
I should have known better.
I didn't like him then.
All right, should have known better.
Basically, he went and he was the same. Stephen Pienaar, I did fall in love with Stephen Pienaar. I cannot lie. What a player. Still love Stephen Pienaar now. What a footballer, what a man. What a man.
Is he still an ambassador?
I don't know, but he's a coach
His
at Ajax.
His birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
He's coach though, isn't he, at Ajax, so can't really be ducking off to do Everton stuff.
I just wondered if we're still paying him to do a job he's not doing. Sorry.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think we were paying.
No, I think it was just... Yeah.
Eh?
Sports pays you were paying
true.
him. And
indirectly, yeah.
Angela, YouTube member, says, whenever I'm feeling down, I just check how many minutes Mopai playing, and that makes me smile. See what you've done there, Angela.
We could have a Mopai day where 20,000 Everton fans.
Arteta was alone at first,
Tweeting.
Paul. January to May.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Just one who couldn't make it in Scotland. Turned out all right, didn't he?
Arteta, he done all right at Rangers. I think people go, well, he didn't make it. I think Rangers fans say he was brilliant. He just wanted to go back, didn't he? Went to Spain. Been at PSG as well. Went to Sociedad.
We rescued
The
him.
Toffees went and rescued him.
Yeah.
I remember that I was working there then, and that January, he wanted Arteta and he wanted Barry Ferguson. Before Blackburn got Barry Ferguson, Rangers captain, and he was brilliant. And I wasn't that bothered about Arteta, but really wanted Barry Ferguson. And we, obviously, Everton fashion, we just didn't have enough money to. And Blackburn still had money then. And they persuaded him to go there, and we got Arteta, and it was a bit like.
And then not
he
too
got
long
better
later.
and better.
Yeah.
Wasn't great at fair, and obviously Moyes played him wide, didn't he?
Yeah.
But once he scored that free kick against Palace at home, his first goal at the Park Emirates was a belter. He just went. Remember him playing though at Villa away. We won 3-1. Osman scored 2, and he was brilliant. Arteta, he was brilliant that day. Ran the game, and it was like.
I was probably there.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
It's
So.
been-
It was a big win that because we never won a Villa Park.
Yeah, I don't store anything like you can find in a book, Baz. Yeah.
You were there though. It's you being there and can't. That's what I can't get my head around. Mad. Joe. Brazilian Joe. He was good on his first loan. The second loan, Moyes couldn't be arsed with him, could he?
Yeah.
But
Sina Traore.
he was good for about 90 seconds when he backheeled that one in against Swansea.
I'll beat you though, Mangala, Queen.
No, terrible. Terrible.
Both lasted as
He's
one of them.
Eloquent Mangala played a game and a half for Everton, or a game and 37 minutes, and got to stretch it off against Crystal Palace at home when we won 3-1. Ped's one of Ped's favourite signings for Everton, Eloquent Mangala. He still got PTSD over it.
Look at him.
The thing with Burnley, Tom, is Burnley are trying to sue us because they got relegated.
Yeah, yeah.
Classic Burnley. Everyone else is to blame. They've had Dyche. They put up with Dyche for 9 years, so they deserve everything they get. Brian McBride was a very decent short-term signing. 4 goals in 8 games. Tim Howard was a loan before we bought him. Correct.
Good stuff.
Correct. James Beattie wasn't a loan. We bought James Beattie.
Just 6 mil or something.
Trent there. What a player. What a player.
If you ever get that question again, you'll start with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, there by Tigers says hopefully we will never be in the position to need to scrape the bottom of the barrel and buy players as bad as Mopai again. Yeah. Kanchelskis wasn't alone. Paid £5.5 million for him.
Got ripped off there, didn't we?
We bought Aidan McGeady. He wasn't alone. Aaron Lennon was alone, and then we bought him.
And the internet wonderful.
Andy Johnson, we bought Andy Johnson for 8.6 million.
Yeah.
Anthony Gardner was alone. He was just up there with Senderos. At least Senderos appeared for Everton. Not much, but he appeared for Everton. Yeah. You want top loan players, don't you? Ghost says, anyone else consider selling Tahi in the summer and moving Jake inside? No. Not when he's one of our most, if not our most consistent player. No. Nope. Oh, the Strach. Because, oh my God, Segundo Castillo. Remember his volley against Standard at home? We drew 2-2.
Eto was loan, wasn't
he?
Who? Eto?
No, Eto was a free transfer.
Was he?
Yeah. We sold him in January.
Yeah, made some money.
£3 for him in January, yeah. Remember we got Lucas Neal randomly?
Oh, yeah.
We got him on a free and then sold him in January.
Yeah.
Moyes got him, played him, and he done really well for Everton, and then we just got rid of him 4 months later. Well, we can make some money on him, so he's gone. Classic Moyes.
Excellent business.
Okay. It was mad. Lacina Traore was mad because he was a player who would have done all right if he'd have stayed fit because he was awkward. He wasn't bad, but then just got that injury before the Chelsea game and didn't return until about 8 minutes from the end of the final game of the season at Hull. We beat Hull 2-0 away. Rom, James McCarthy scored. And
Probably there as well.
Yeah, you'll have been there, John. And he brought Lacina Traore on for his fond
Finale,
farewell.
yeah.
That was it. John Russell says, Kanchelskis still my favourite Everton player, even though he wasn't here long. Gaza wasn't alone. Free Klaus Thompson wasn't alone. I think he was £1 million from Ipswich. Joe Max Moore wasn't alone. Thank you, Peyton. Thank you very much. Yobo was alone for a year before we paid £5 million for him.
Yobo.
From Marseille. Mikael Madar wasn't on loan. I do remember him, Ray Varadi. I was a kid. I remember he scored against Liverpool in the FA Cup in 1981. We beat them 2-1. Goodison knocked them out. Even though they were very, very good. Winning titles in European Cups. We beat them, didn't we? And Imre scored. Glenn Keely was alone and was an absolute nightmare of a loan. I mean, it lasted, 19 minutes or something of a derby match. That was it. That was his loan. In low Bullens. Me and my dad nasty with 25 Liverpool fans around us. Rush got 4. That's reminded me. Sammy Lee. Reminded me.
Rush, Sammy Lee.
No, it's just reminded me because he scored. I think Sammy Lee scored that day. I think he scored the first goal that day. Or if he didn't, he was instrumental. But just reminded me, yeah. Daniel Beddoes just throws in, I always enjoyed watching Tony Cottee. He wasn't a lone player, but fine. That's fine. Just
record
throw Tony Cottee.
Purchase.
He was at
the time. Yeah, when we got him. Yeah.
He was.
British record.
I wasn't happy. Not happy.
Tony Cottee. I was underwhelmed.
I was underwhelmed because they told me wasn't like tall enough to the profile of player he wanted, and he spent £2.5 million on someone who was as equally small as me.
The track record.
99 goals. If he didn't get 100 goals, the divvy. Got rid of him. Got rid of him. 99 bloody goals. That was a weird transfer, that, wasn't it? We couldn't score goals, and we got rid of Cottee and got David Burrows in. It was a strange time. That classic Everton. Get rid of a lad who's got 99 goals for you and bring David Burrows. Mad. I know, Daniel, I was just saying it was random that you just threw Tony Cottee in there, but that's fine. That's fine. Absolutely fine.
Even if it just cuts to the heart for Baz, you know.
No, it wasn't. It was just classic Everton.
Could have me. I'm already here.
No. Tony Cottee was obviously miles better than me. I just meant the
thing.
The thing of the frame, the profile we're looking at as strikers didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a Cottee fan. He was.
No, I wasn't.
Thingy, wasn't he? He was that.
What do you say?
Sure. So.
All right.
No, I think with Cottee, the problem was he'd score in like 4 games on the run, wouldn't he?
He did in,
and then he wouldn't score again for ages.
He did in
then
patches,
he'd score in 5 in the run, then he wouldn't score again
he did
for
in
ages.
Patches, yeah.
He was all right. Don't get me wrong, he was all right. I loved him after 2 games, I won't lie. Got a hat-trick on his debut.
Yeah.
And then I was at Coventry the week later and we won 1-0. Southall was stupid that day, like ridiculous.
So how many players have we had
and he scored and we won 1-0.
How many players have we had who scored hat-tricks on their debut? That's a question, isn't it? Never played many games.
I can only think Cottee.
Yeah, he never played many games for us in the end, did he?
Cottee?
Yeah.
What did he? I
I don't know. I'll have a look here.
Gee, for a good few years.
Yeah. So West Ham. Oh, he's 180 odd. So yeah, it was just that last season because he went.
Shahar wasn't loan. He was a free.
Back where he come from, didn't he?
900,000 or something. John Russell says, yeah, bring back Jossie's Giants if we're getting random. Football's just a branch of science.
So 6 full seasons, Cottee. Only one season he didn't get double-figure league goals. Could do with someone like that, couldn't we?
Yeah, he was all right, that's what I mean. Who's the best striker you've seen play for Everton, John?
Oh, gosh.
Etu was free, he wasn't on loan.
Might be Lukaku. Because it was
Really, yeah?
in his pomp, wasn't he? Bear in mind, I don't remember stuff like you do. So you'll have to produce someone from that in the last 60 years. So
Lukaku was better than Graham Sharp?
I think so, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Wow. Gary Lineker's the best striker I've ever seen for Everton.
Yeah, but he was only here a season.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The best striker. You're talking about ability of scoring goals. Gary Lineker was the best forward Everton have ever had in my life, what I've watched.
Yeah, no,
Graham Sharp was probably second. Lukaku probably third. Ability-wise, Wayne.
With Andy Gray up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gray was
Whenever my
great.
dad talks about it, he always talks about
But again,
Andy Gray was amazing. He was.
Right place, right time.
Adrian Heath was.
Absolutely.
See, Ince was. I loved Ince. He was my thingy. He was a brilliant striker, but he was also a bit more of a 10, and he could also play anywhere. He was just amazing. He could play anywhere in the front six. Now, obviously, it would have been anywhere across the middle. In fact, he played centre mid with Peter Reid at Wembley in the FA Cup final, didn't he? And took the piss. We won 2-0 against Watford. He was brilliant. And then we put him up front and he was brilliant. And we had him, you know what I mean? He could play anywhere. But if you're talking out striker, Gary Lineker for me, hands down. No one's got near him. See, I flip a coin over Lukaku and Yakubu. Because I actually think it was a better finisher than Rom. As in, calmer. Rom was a better footballer. Rom could dribble and knock people out the way and step over and all that. But Yak was unbelievable. Just the Achilles wrecked him, obviously.
Yeah, it did.
But what a finisher Yakubu was, just calm and looked like he wasn't arsed.
Both of them were crap at penalties.
Yeah. Ray191 says best goal scorer Lineker, best all-round striker Graham Sharp.
Best
Wayne R says Wayne Clark. Wayne Clark was good for us, wasn't he?
Good
just
goal
come in
scorer.
for a bit, score goals.
Yeah.
He was very good.
Good finisher.
So Alan Clark as well, he was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, for Leeds,
the Leeds fella, yeah.
The Leeds fella.
He wasn't he? He was synonymous with Leeds, isn't he?
Leeds legend.
Yeah, Leeds
absolutely.
legend. Ghost says Rooney or Lukaku, the best two strikers I've ever seen. But I love the Yak.
Does Wayne count as a striker or just such a
But he did play up
brilliant footballer?
Wayne Rooney's the best
footballer.
Just
natural.
exactly how you just described Adrian Heath,
Yeah,
that he could just
anybody.
Yeah.
He's the best natural footballer I've ever seen. He's the best footballer England have ever produced in my lifetime. I can't say Alan Ball because I never, you know what I mean? I seen Alan Ball when I was a kid, and he was at the end. But Wayne Rooney, for me, the best footballer England have ever produced, natural, in my lifetime. So therefore, one of the best players I've ever seen play for Everton Football Club. Andrei Kanchelskis was unbelievable. But he was just speed and power, where Wayne had everything: touch, vision, goals, dribbling ability. Evertonian. Lineker, best striker by some distance for me. Give him a chance. He got 40 goals. Unbelievable. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. It took him a few games to score. When you go through like that. Like Louis Sahar had loads of talent. Wasn't fit all the time.
That's true.
Was a bit... like some days he looked like he couldn't be arsed, you know. But he had loads of talent in his left foot.
It's funny, there's players like that, isn't it, who have all that natural talent. I mean, you only seen Alec Young play.
No.
But
Me
more
said
talent than anyone could ever imagine. And I think is it on the Golden Vision, I think, where he says something like, "On my day, I can do anything." But his day didn't arrive all the time. But it was a different time. He didn't have all these sports science and all that stuff. But on his day, you would just watch him and go, "How does he do that?"
Then play for Everton, but Les Ferdinand was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like talent, unbelievable leap, pacey, scored goals, but had to be like the 100%, otherwise he wasn't. You know what I mean? And he's one of them players, and people say he wouldn't play, but he was like 95% fit, he wouldn't play.
Oh, he's one of those.
Where a lot of others would go through, like Shearer was obviously an unbelievable goal scorer and the record goal scorer and all that, but a few people mentioning Bob Latchford. Big Dunk. Dunk was just a great player, wasn't he? But powerful.
How many goals did he end up with?
71, was it?
Did he get to 1 in 3 or was it 1 in 4? Maybe?
Like last refresh on Premier, we're done. Eric Dyer, what a loan, says Mark. Brian's gone with Bob Latchford. Enna Valencia was on loan, John. You're right, he did all right. Did all right for us.
Good loan time.
Yeah, it was. Martin says, you think they could put the Archibald Leach design along that wall as a nod to Goodison to cover the concrete? They could, but I don't think they will.
They'll put the features elsewhere.
But I'd have it like a thing of fans on it. I just want it to look like one continuous thing, which is what I thought.
Well, you think the odds are nothing gets done to it?
Quite high, never. But I don't know, to be fair, I'm sure they'll sort it. They've said they're going to do it though, haven't they? So,
have they?
Well, apparently, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interested, so I'm going to keep putting the pressure on to make sure.
Well, the South Stand will be full, won't it?
It still needs it. It can't be left.
Yeah, but the South Stand will be full for the next test of it. I'm guessing. I don't know. Will it?
Yeah.
So we'll have a view, won't we?
It won't have been done though. I bet it hasn't been done yet.
No, it won't have been done now, but
it needs to be done.
The wall,
stupid concrete wall in the middle of the South Stand. Jonathan Rickard says, question, which sale transfer was the weirdest and unexpected in your history? Mine was Gravison to Madrid. That was a mad one. Tommy Gravison just going to Madrid.
I haven't got
I'll tell you what was a mad one for me. Not so much Barnby to Liverpool, because that was done because they tapped them up, but I always found Abel Xavier leaving us and going to Liverpool in the January, just like a random transfer. You know what I mean? One of them, like, what? Like, where's this come from? It was just weird. There was, but you couldn't even hate him because he was just weird, wasn't he? Like,
decent Euros, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he was sent off against France.
Everton didn't offer him as. What a surprise. Everton didn't offer him what he wanted, and I don't think it was massively more than what he was. Do you know what I mean? Wasn't a big jump to go from what we offered him to what he wanted, and Liverpool obviously.
Anyone leaving Everton to go to Fulham?
I mean, that was.
Anyone though?
And John Collins.
Signing to Fulham from Everton.
Fulham.
Did you think Digne was really weird at the time? I know he fell out with him, but just because they were they were probably below us.
No, they were below us, weren't they? Yeah, it was a weird
he was
one.
But he just best players.
He just went where they just wanted him, didn't he? Didn't want to go. He was devastated, wasn't
he? Yeah.
I just had one in my mind. Then was another mad one. What I couldn't get over. Not like get over as in I can't get over that, but I thought it was a bit weird. Transfer and it's gone. Sure, it'll come back in a minute.
Christian Eriksen leaving Man United, would you have him?
No.
Managers when they leave Everton go on to much better and weirder things somehow.
But it was just weird. It was a like Xavier one. I always think back and just think, what? Like why? Where's this come from?
Money.
No, I know, but it was just like weird. I mean, like a mad one, and it's one that should never have happened. Was Don Hutchison was our captain, and we wouldn't give him. Like, I'm sure it was in the end. It was like $2,000 more to stay, or like 1,500 quid more. He was our captain, and he was unbelievable for us. He was like dictating every game in a team where we just starting to get a really good side under Walter. We had the captain, and we wouldn't pay no money, and he went off and was brilliant everywhere else. And you're like, he was our captain. What the fuck's going on here?
Like a big picture.
Classic Everton.
Yeah.
Right, done. Right, thank you very much. I mean, we've done way up. I was like struggling at 5-2, thinking we'd probably finish this now.
25 past?
Yeah, you've got a bonus long one there. Yeah, hey, that's what she said. Oh, he said. Reminiscence great.
Yeah.
Reminiscence great. Right, thank you very much, everybody. Like, subscribe, do all that. Come on, start giving us another push. James, have you been throwing 100,000?
I have put up a few times, yeah.
Good lad, because that's what we're chasing. Also, go and subscribe to More Than a Game and Inside the Game. Come on, you've been asked nicely. Have a fantastic day.
Take care.
See you all later.
Bye-bye.